So you're into desk setups. You're the proud owner of a beautiful workspace that you sit at for hours daily.
Yo, go touch grass.
Day in and day out, you're at your setup, smashing your life's goals and occasionally dunking on noobs.
No, you suck.
But then you start to feel something. Stagnation? Boredom? Maybe you just want to try something new. In any case, I got you covered. Here's 5 premium desk accessories you need to try. If your setup still has random cables jutting out from under the monitors or table edges, what are you doing with your life? Trust me, I know what that's like. Just look at my first desk setup. But don't worry, give this desk accessory a shot. This is the Gitryin Charging Hub. It's a fairly recent addition to my setup that has absolutely changed the way rejuicing my desk tools looks and feels. The hub comes with 4 slots that are customizable between high-speed 40-watt USB-C and lightning cable options. The key highlight is that every charger is retractable, creating a flexible charging setup that's minimal and unintrusive. Additionally, these are great for on the go, as each charger is removable and has a USB-C slot to plug in another cable if needed. Aside from its practical use case, it's also a really aesthetic desk setup accessory. The hub itself is super well built, and its form will fit in naturally with pretty much any setup. Okay, I know what you're thinking.
What the f? All that for a desk mat?
And honestly, you're not wrong. This isn't an accessory that I would recommend to anyone who isn't already deep into desk setups. But, much like fine art, it has its appreciation among those who desire fine craftsmanship. This is the Grovemade Studio Pad. Now, Grovemade has already established itself as a major player within premium desk setup accessories, and this desk mat is quite the innovative take on said accessory. The Studio Pad is triple layered with cork, aluminum, and a working surface, either felt or leather. I personally love the aesthetic and feel of felt, so that's what I got. Differentiating this mat from generic desk mats is its built-in organizational features. There's a strip of walnut that serves as a storage for pens, SD cards, or any small utilities really. But the wood also serves as a kickstand for cards, phones, and even tablets, enabling a ton of different creative ways you can modify and change the aesthetic of your desk setup. Finally, a small yet super well designed feature is the holes made for clean cable management. The Studio Pad is definitely an interesting and unique take on desk mats that's crafted with premium materials. A worthy investment for anyone that's looking for something highly functional. Time to bring back the classics. Yep, this is the latest mouse in the infamous Logitech Master Series. So if you have a super outdated mouse, or just curious about how different the 4 compares to the 3S, then you're gonna wanna pay attention. Long story short, the left click button on my old 3S kinda stopped working consistently, which prompted the upgrade. And honestly, it's a solid update. The old 3S had a very rubbery surface, which made it grippier, but also made it more prone to degradation from hand oils. This new surface is silicone, which does a significantly better job at protecting the mouse. When it comes to button features, the main complaints I saw were about how the gesture button was relocated and how the haptic feedback doesn't actually do much. Now, don't get me wrong, these are valid complaints, but I don't think it actually negatively impacts functionality. Because I use a wrist glider, the elevated position of my hand is actually perfect for where the gesture button now is. And I do love the additional customizations I can do with the haptic feedback button, especially in video editing, where I can add an additional 7 shortcuts, which has actually been very helpful in improving my video editing speed. Now, is it worth buying this mouse? If you don't already have a productivity mouse, then 100% yes. But if you're already a proud owner of a Master 3S that still has a lot of life left in it, I I'd say keep the 3S as it's not going to make a huge daily difference. If you're anything like me, you love multiple monitors. The problem with multiple monitors is that it's hard transitioning between, say, a laptop and a PC unless you have this bad boy. This is the Tobenone docking station. It is the only product in this list that was sponsored, but I actually already own a different Tobenone product, so I can definitely vouch for their quality. Tobenone actually offers a ton of different docking stations for different needs. And if you are one of those people rocking 3 or 4 monitors, then you should seriously consider one of these. This specific model comes with 4 display ports that you can choose between HDMI or DP connections, along with ports for Ethernet, desk peripherals, SD cards, and a generous amount of USB Type A and C slots. The dock itself is constructed using aluminum, which gives it a robust feeling. And this makes switching between different setups so simple. With a simple press of the power button, I can turn off the laptop connections and kick over to the PC. The dock even comes with a stand, which gives you more options where you can place the dock to suit the needs and aesthetics of your setup. Wow, Han, it's a nice looking keyboard. Aw, thank you. It's fully metal. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's fully metal. Except obviously the switches, since I don't think full metal switches exist just yet? Question mark? But what I do want to talk about is these keycaps. Since becoming a desk setup enthusiast, it was pretty much inevitable to also fall down the keyboard rabbit hole. I mean, they literally go hand in hand. And trust me, I did go through the whole thaw versus clack versus creamy phase. And while there's no such thing as the perfect keyboard experience, I have come across something quite interesting. These are metal keycaps, and they might just be the seasoning that completely changes the flavor of typing. I own 2 sets from 2 different brands. One is from a brand called Awekeys, and while the keycaps themselves were a ton of fun, they had a major problem. They damaged my switches. And that's due to the fact that the stems were also metal, and they would shave down the plastic switches. One of them actually became loose enough to just pop off if I let go of the key too fast. But don't worry, there is another solution. This was actually a brand I found on AliExpress called Yum? Regardless, the stem is actually plastic, which creates the perfect metal keycap without the problem of damaging switches. Additionally, they are currently the only brand that carries a low-profile metal keycap set, so if that's what you're into, you're in luck. And I'm sure you're curious as to how they sound, but I don't really feel like showing you guys because I'm always looking for ways to change up my setup a little, and not because my setup is bad or anything, but it's just human nature to want to change up things that have been the same for a while. So hopefully some of these desk accessories that I've ended up enjoying so much end up on your desk as well. And if they do, let me know how you integrate them into your daily flow. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next tech film.